part 2. This video is going to be about cooking on the road or cooking while you're traveling. Not only cooking while you're traveling, but how to cook healthy meals on the road. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, it's so hard for me to cook for myself when I'm out in the van, or when we're out at the tent. We have such a hard time trying to come up with really healthy meals. It's easier to go get fast food, things like that." But to be quite honest with you, it's not necessary to buy those things. You can have really super healthy foods right at your fingertips to go ahead and make the kind of meals that you want to eat. And in this segment, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now, I live a paleo lifestyle, which means if you think of the word paleo, that means old. It means, ancient, way back when. Eating paleo is super, super clean eating. It's healthy eating. There's no preservatives. Everything that you make is homemade. There's no stopping at fast food restaurants. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can eat a super clean diet on the road. Stay tuned. Okay, so you always want to keep on hand olive oil or coconut oil. First of all, it's paleo, but second of all, it's also easy enough to keep up in a cabin if you're an RV and things like that. I wouldn't mess with vegetable oils or canola oils because they're really not the best oils for you to use. So if you keep a mister or something like that, or a little spray bottle that has oil in it, or get yourself a can of an olive oil spray, it's perfect. Or you can just use a little pat of butter, which is a healthy fat on paleo, grass-fed of course, or you can go ahead and just use a little bit of olive oil or coconut oil in your pan, so you don't have to worry about spraying it. So first I'm going to start with the olive oil. My choice. I have the Dilalo. Put enough in there to cook this chicken. We're going to do chicken and Brussels sprouts. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, you can choose a different vegetable. The first thing we're going to do is get this pan on, put a medium heat, and get it heated up. Now you'll notice that I have a cast iron skillet here, and I'm going to use the skillet for everything. I'm going to make the chicken in it. I'm going to put the Brussels sprouts in it. I have some carrots I'm going to throw in here with some onion and kind of saute them a little bit after I take the chicken out so I can get it into the chicken juices. Then I'm put everything back in here and put it straight into the oven. And the pan. Okay, so the oil is hot. I want to make sure I coat the entire thing. Make sure it gets all the way across. Go ahead and put in my chicken. Now I always put my chicken in frozen. A lot of people don't do that. I prefer to defrost my chicken or my meat out on the countertop. I don't like to do it in the refrigerator. But because I have cats, I don't. So just go ahead and put them in frozen and let them defrost on their own. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start adding my seasonings to this pan. Now, obviously I'm going to add seasonings that go well with chicken and Brussels sprouts and carrots and all that stuff, because not all seasonings go well with all the foods I'm going to make. So I'm going to add a little bit of garlic salt. Not too terribly much, I don't need that much salt. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of lemon, fresh lemon, on top of the chicken here. I don't buy the lemon oil in the squeeze bottle because I like the real thing. You can do lime, you can do lemon. Now we're going to use lemon. We're going to let it cook on both sides. This side for 4 minutes, the other side for 4 minutes, and then we're going to take it out. Okay, now while we're waiting for the chicken to cook, we're going to go ahead and chop up our onion and our freshly peeled carrot. With the onions, you don't need to make dices. You just cut them long ways like this with the grain so that you don't have to worry about tears, because believe me, that doesn't feel too good. And chop up the ends of this here. Put those in the little trash. I'm going to go ahead and put these into our bowl. And the prep time on this dish is not that long. I'll go ahead and chop up these into little discs. I'm not a chef, so please bear with me. I don't use chef knives like a real chef does. Looking good. Go ahead and flip this chicken over. Keeping in mind, remember, it's still frozen because I put it in here frozen, so go ahead and now when we get done with this, we're going to take these out and put them onto a plate. After they're plated, I'm going to go ahead and take a metal spatula and I'm going to scrape everything off of here and use it in the onions and the carrots and the Brussels sprouts. So go ahead, and now is the time to add pepper or any other seasonings that you want to add. If you want to add a little bit more of the garlic salt onto this side of the chicken, go ahead. If you want to put any other seasoning that you love on here, go for it now. Now for those of us that like to van camp or tent camp or like to cook outside, this is a perfect little package of seasonings to buy at Walmart. This has curry, cayenne pepper, garlic salt, black pepper, salt, paprika. Okay, so it has everything. The only thing it doesn't have in here is cumin, and I would definitely have cumin if it's like, say you're gonna make like a homemade taco seasoning or something like that. You definitely want that with like some chili powder. But this is a good thing to have on here. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and take the chicken out of the pan and put it into a bowl for now. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and all the stuff that's in here in the pan we're going to scrape with a metal spatula. And turn the heat down just a tad. Get that oil around there and help unstick everything. Okay, let's go ahead and add our mixture of vegetables. Those going. We're going to do it just until the onions are a little bit more translucent. We're not going to overcook the vegetables. When you overcook vegetables, you lose essential nutrients. So we're just going to go ahead and do this for about maybe 2 minutes, a minute and a half, just until these start to look like they're just slightly cooked. Then we're going to add our chicken back to the bunch here in the pan, and we're going to stick it into the oven. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of basil in here. A little bit of oregano. And just a tad of salt, just a little bit to help the flavors. Salt is definitely a paleo food, but you don't want a lot. A little goes a long way. Okay, this is what we have so far. This is what it looks like after I put all the seasonings on it. It's a beautiful dish. We're going to go ahead and stir it up a little bit. Get those onions down there. When that timer goes off, then the chicken is going back in here. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Stir this a little bit. You want to get kind of a nice little tiny char on your Brussels sprouts before you put them in. Anything that you're going to make in here that's green, I would put a tiny char on it. All done. Okay, here it is with the chicken in it, ready to go into the oven. Let's do it now. Now what I found with van camping, especially van camping, tent camping is the same, but with van camping, because your kitchen is so tiny, you don't really have a whole lot of room for anything. So the trick is as you're cooking, while something is cooking and you're not prepping, that's when you're cleaning. So we're going to do that now. First things first, you want to start with your stove, which if you're Obviously, camping out, your stove isn't going to be very big. So after it cools a tad, go ahead and wipe it down. And then if you have to put it away, you can. That'll get at least that out of the way for you. And if you're doing this at home, you know, this is actually a really good practice too to get into the habit of when you're cooking, no matter where you are. Helps keep your kitchen clean and makes less work for you later. Something great to have on hand is one of these great sink drainers. If it fits inside your sink, great. If you need to set it up on something like this, that's fine too. If you're camping out and you have, like, say, a fold-out table out and that's what you're using for you know, your little station, cooking station, cleaning station, one of these is great. And if you have a sink that's large enough in your RV or your van or whatever that can just fit this right in, then definitely use it. Also, when you're cooking, always have your dishwater ready. When you get done with something that you've used, throw it into your dishwater, it soaks, and it's ready to just be basically wiped off and then rinsed and put into the drainer. Okay, so it doesn't take very long at all. I'm using a little bit more water in mine than you would use if you're on the road. You know, when you're on the road, you want to be careful because water is a precious resource for you, and constantly having to use water over and over again, you know, it can get expensive, and it can be a real hassle trying to go into town to always get water because you've used it up. So you get all your dishes done, and you let them air dry if you can. If you don't have room, take a break from washing, dry a few, put them away, and then just keep going. Wash and then dry, wash and then dry. Another thing about the water, when you are finished with your dishwater, and this is good information for people who are new to the van life experience. When you're finished with your dishwater, you can go ahead and pour it into your flushable commode toilet to use it to flush. But you'll never be able to use it for bathing or anything like that because of the food particles and stuff that are in it. But you can reuse your dishwater in your toilet, so go for it. And that's done. I'm going to go ahead and pull this pan out of the oven. So all the veggies are now fully cooked. The chicken is now fully cooked. And we're just going to set it up here on the stove. And that will feed at least 2 people. And oh my gosh, that looks really good. There you have it. Brussels sprouts, onions, carrots, and chicken. And it looks amazing. Well guys, I hope you liked a little tutorial today. I know that it's not van camping and tent camping and adventure stuff, but it's still good to know how to cook when you're on the road. So I hope that this video helped a little bit, giving you some ideas how to cook. If you're new to van life and this has helped you, go ahead and like the video below and maybe leave a little comment about how it helped you. And if you have any questions about anything pertaining to van life or paleo dieting or anything like that, just drop me a note below and I'll try to answer. So anyway, you guys have a really great day. And I'm sorry if this video seems chopped up a little bit as I'm editing, but my cameraman's gone, so I'm having to do this all by myself. So anyway, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later.